Weekly update for Friday, March 23rd. And got a very nice letter from Oscar Wilde's grandson. I don't get a lot of mail around here, but what mail I get is quality mail. Dear Dave, I have been clearing my desk preparatory to completing at long last my book on Oscar's posthumous life, and feel that I owe you a letter. I hope it will still reach you at the snail mail address that I have, and I hope that you have stuck to your principles and have not succumbed to the siren call of the digital age. No problem, Mr. Holland. I see that the last time we corresponded I mentioned the possibility of an exhibition in Paris on Oscar, and I hope that we might include a section at the end to show the visitors how Oscar caught the imagination of the 20th century and appeared on everything from mouse pads to de-alcoholized champagne. You kindly said you would lend some of your Cerebus artwork if we needed it, and then you heard no more. Well, the exhibition did indeed take place at the Petit Palais from September 2016 to January 2017, and saw an incredible 95,000 visitors pass through in those 3.5 months. However, try as I might, it was impossible to convince my co-curators to include the modern section, despite the fact that the visual aspect on which the Petit Palais had insisted for the rest would have been striking and unusual. That's the artistic and intellectual snobbery of the French for you. Pas assez sérieux. It's just not serious, they said. Ironically, quite a number of the visitors I took around personally, as well as some of the press, said that a splendid finale it would have made to show the extraordinary and lasting popularity of the man. I felt bad that I have not written to you before to tell you all this, especially after your kindness and courtesy to me in the past. Anyhow, I hope you will forgive me for leaving you without news after asking if you might, in the possibility, lend your artwork. I still feel that it would be fun and interesting to have a show which brought such objects together, though without the draw of a major exhibition on the man's life, it would necessarily be quite low-key. No promises, but I'll keep trying. Well, the artwork's always here if you have use for it, Mr. Holland. Apart from that, I hope this finds you well and creatively satisfied. No one is ever satisfied, but at least fulfilled. Please don't bother to acknowledge this. I'm sure you have plenty of better things to do, but your last letter has looked accusingly at me for so long that I thought I must do something about it. Very best wishes, Merlin Holland. So there you go. Thank you, Merlin Holland. Always nice to hear from you. And yes, I am still resisting the siren call of the internet. Okay, moving on to the auction items for this week. And the first auction item that we've got is this week's Cerebus in Hell strips, including a full-sized Whore of Babylon with Dante and Virgil. I ended up having to print that out because I just couldn't find the image that I wanted at the right size for the Whore of Babylon strip in this week's strips. So this is going to be a rare occasion where you're going to get the actual paste ups. Those are the actual word balloons on there with little cutout Avery label balloon tails on them. That's how I do the balloon tails, is I cut little triangles out of Avery labels and stick them on. So this week's strips includes the last three of Tales of Sophistication #1, the first appearance of the Iron Manticore, and features a guest appearance by Batvark with the Iron Manticore, and another one last shot of Batvark before we have the segue strip into Iron Manticore #1, which we already have a cover for, so I've got a bunch of ideas for that. And the War of Babylon strip that I told you about, a couple of Cerebus in Hell with Dante and Virgil. This one's about Robin Williams. Cerebus in Hell with Dante and Virgil. Modern day jargon. If you can't make fun of modern day social justice jargon, you're in the wrong line of work. And a Jingles strip, which I wrapped up the week with. And if you don't think it's something that you should joke about, and particularly making the joke that the Jingles makes, you can just blame it on sleep deprivation and the massive doses of caffeine that I use to get through to strip #7 every week. So you get all of those strips, War of Babylon, full-size paste up, and as usual, all the little pasted up bits and pieces that went into the Cerebus in Hell strips. And the last two auction items, sort of a little holiday for Dave Fisher this time around. We had, I think you're probably aware, a number of mix-ups on Cerebus Archive #7, which is the rarest of the Cerebus Archive portfolios. Only 175 of them. This is not the portfolio that you'll be getting, but this is definitely what it looks like in the plastic bag. Cerebus Archive #7, and the ones that you'll be getting will be autographed on the front, and all of the plates autographed. And we're auctioning number 106 and 136. You might well be asking, well, why 106 and 136? That's because those are the ones that Nolan R. of Los Angeles, California got by mistake. Not only did he get one by mistake, he got two by mistake. And then finally I did a personalized NR edition for him of his correct number. And I thought, hey, what if, Nolan has very kindly volunteered to mail the portfolios to the winning bidders, number 106 and number 136, either both to the same bidder or to two different bidders. And I had the weird thought, hey, we've actually got a few Cerebus fans in Los Angeles and in the Los Angeles area. What if instead of giving $20 or $30 to the post office to mail the Cerebus Archive number 106 and number 136 to the winning bidders, what if Nolan had lunch with them, arranged to meet them somewhere in Los Angeles, you buy Nolan lunch, and Nolan brings your Cerebus Archive portfolio with him. So I thought, well, okay, I got Nolan's phone number here. Let's give him a call and see what Nolan thinks of the idea.
Hey Dave, it's Nolan. Returning your call. Wanted to confirm that yes, it's number 106 and number 136. 106 and 136 are the two extra portfolios I have. And yeah, more than happy to go with the lunch gag, and if someone happens to live in Los Angeles, I will happily take a free lunch to hand deliver it. So yes, thank you again, and yeah, let me know where to send these or who to have lunch with. Talk to you later. Bye.
So thank you, Nolan. So if you live in the Los Angeles area, or you're within driving distance of the Los Angeles area, or you're just interesting enough a person to be willing to fly to Los Angeles and buy Nolan lunch, 106 or 136 portfolios could be yours. And I hope you have a couple of nice lunches there, Nolan, or maybe at least 1 out of 2. Okay, thanks everyone, seriously, for the generosity in the auctions. We've been able to go full speed ahead at Camp David with sorting the tracing paper and getting it preserved with acid-free paper in 11 by 17 plastic sleeves. Fisher has put in an invoice for a little over $400, and Rowley, working flat out for the last week and a half, has put in an invoice for between $600 and $700, and we do have the funds to cover that because of everyone who is participating in the eBay auctions. So we're just going to keep forging ahead as if you guys aren't going to get any less generous as we go along, and hope that we're able to keep up the work of preserving and maintaining the Cerebus archive without interruption. So tune in next week and find out how we're doing on that with the March 30th weekly update. And I hope to see a bunch of you then.